Hello, welcome to the Comedy and Mushroom.
Dude, that almost came right out of my nose. You can't do that shit.
It's literally called the Comedy and Mushroom Podcast, and I try and give us a real official intro. I don't know. I mean,
You
do
did
want
it
me
with
to
an accent. Are you Borat?
No,
like, what
I
is
did
wrong
it
with
with
you?
like I did it with like the 1990s TV guy voice, like "Hello, welcome to the Comedy and Mushroom Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Briggs, with my co-host Ray Rabbits."
Well, hello, everybody.
Our special guest today is Jimmy Fallon.
Do we have Jimmy Fallon?
No, we don't. I was gonna send like his people an email, and I didn't even do that because I just.
Dude, if you could get Jimmy Fallon on this podcast, I think that you would be epic. Like, that'd be super big.
Yeah, but you know what would really like hurt my feelings is like, you know how like everybody like fucking Anne Hathaway will be the special guest and she'll be like, I was in a movie, and he'll like clap his hands and laugh. Like if he came on our podcast and he didn't like over enthusiastically laugh at anything, it would hurt my feelings too much.
Well, he would be the guest. Like, we're supposed to do that for him.
Oh, that'd be even better if every time he's like, hey, I'm Jimmy Fallon, and we can go.
You slay me. Yeah, the Boston guy, like, it's hilarious.
I also like how today Ray was like, you start the podcast, and what a great start, might I add. Maybe the best start we've ever had.
I mean, I would say between the two hosts of this podcast, you're definitely in the top two.
Maybe even three.
Maybe even three. Hey,
maybe even
stop.
Three.
My dog was licking his paws.
Okay, I'm really happy it was the dog and not your girlfriend.
Could you imagine if that's how I talked to her? It's like, hey, knock it the fuck off. Like, what is wrong with you?
Hey.
I actually every once in a while to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And it won't be like in a mean way. It'll be like a surprising way. I also want to apologize. This is directly after. So, I mean, we started like 2 minutes late because Joe's tummy was rumbling. And I haven't had time to do my post-work yogitation. So I am all sorts of tense and upset and ready to
rule. Whoa, I didn't know this was happening.
Troublemakers.
Whoa, this is so exciting. Wow, this is the happiest I've been in days.
These two chubby little fucks. Look at you.
I just lost 20 pounds, but thank you.
You did? You get the COVID? Did you lose that fucking COVID weight? Start eating fucking oysters every day? Huh?
COVID actually slowed my progress, but thank you.
Rich fuck. Joe Briggs is a millionaire. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Joe Briggs is a trust fund baby millionaire. Okay? He's in it with the Crafts. He's in it with Tom Brady. He's a fucking millionaire kid.
I assume that this is what happens just when you watch the Patriots.
What's that fucking call? They're not even on the screen. Yeah. What's that fucking call?
I told
that commercial.
I want you to ask JT what you should have asked him the other day when you were watching The Departed. That's why I wanted him on here, is I wanted him to jump on so you could ask him all Departed related questions that you had.
Oh yeah, I watched The Departed. Am I pronouncing that right? The Departed?
Departed?
Yeah, for the first time. And
I want to know how much of a poser Joe is. Is he said he has never seen The Town.
You never seen The Town?
No.
Ben Affleck.
He'd never even heard of it.
Why is there so many Boston movies?
It's because it's the greatest fucking city ever made by man, okay?
And they're all Southies in every movie. They're like, oh, you're a fucking Southie? Is there
The Town, they're from Charlestown.
Yeah, there's like a 3-block radius right outside of downtown Boston where all of I'm just recounting the opening credits of The Town.
There's more bank robbers in Charlestown than there are grocery stores.
How many grocery stores are there?
One.
Well, come on. Now, that's not like hard to do.
What's like the predominant grocery store in Boston? Is it Giant Eagle? Because that sounds like it'd be a fun grocery store with a Boston accent.
Hey, go to the fucking Giant Eagle. No, Hannaford's.
Oh, that's fucking awful.
I used to
Really
have
killed-
to drive to New Hampshire when I would visit my parents. I used to have to drive to New Hampshire for the nearest grocery store.
New
are you
Hampshire,
also,
the biggest waste of a state, right? New Hampshire,
Biggest
like
garbage. That's where I was born.
Is it?
are you in Boston right now?
Huh?
Are you in Boston right now?
I'm in Cleveland, dog.
No, I know. I knew you were back, but just the whole outfit and vibe you have is very Boston.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Jane Boston talk recently.
Yeah.
Follow me on TikTok at JT_Godfrey, 37,000 followers, counting, baby.
Look at this dude in his arms. He just wants to come. Like he comes in a robe, and then he's like, "I'm gonna be flexing." When I texted him, he's like, "I'm here with my girl." I'm like, this dude is just out here thriving.
I like that he like showed off his anchor tattoo too to show that it's like much more well done than mine.
Wait, were you in the Navy with Joe as well?
We were both in the Navy.
Yeah. It was so many good times in the Navy. I don't even know where to start. So
One of my favorite questions that was ever asked outside, like when I was back in town, because I was in town a couple weeks ago. Thanks for showing up. And Joe goes, "Hey, there's got to be a group of us who have gotten anchor tattoos that aren't in the Navy." It's one of my favorite conversations.
Wait, Joe, I gotta go soon. What was your question about the departed?
Oh, I was just like telling I had COVID, so I've been like since New Year's.
I heard about that. I'm happy you're feeling better.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
thanks.
did you know that Joe had COVID?
Joe had COVID? It's actually a false conspiracy, I heard.
I heard he was faking it.
Yeah, I'm so like attention starved for stage time that I keep peppering the COVID thing in a conversation to get like validation.
Yeah.
But no, I've never seen the movie all the way through, and I like was texting Ray, and I was like, "This is a really good movie. This is like really nice."
Amazing.
And he was like, "Did you tell JT because he's from Boston?" And I was like, "Oh man, I wish I would have like just line by line texted you every single line in the movie for like 3 hours."
Are you guy that does his job? No, that's me. You must be the other guy. Bro,
hey, quick question. Have you ever beaten up, like, to the borderline of death? Have you ever beaten up a Vietnamese guy? Because I heard that's like a pretty popular thing to do there.
Not with a pipe. Not when I was 13 on cocaine.
Oh, okay. Good. Did you take a plea deal and got rid of it and then got like super famous and then like now everybody is like okay with it?
Listen, you do the crime, you pay the time, okay?
Was the key to maturing into a full man doing cocaine at 13? Because I'm pretty sure I have hit puberty, but there's no way to tell.
It's a good way to get a funky bunch. That's one way to get a funky bunch.
One way.
What?
That's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that's fucking right.
I got them good vibrations.
And he's just hitting a punching bag the entire music video.
Imagine he like almost killed a Vietnamese guy. Like he got convicted of a hate crime, and then he was like yelling the N-word at a bunch of kids all the time.
Yeah, but now he's famous, so.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Cancel culture isn't real because Mark Wahlberg still has a blockbuster career. That's how you know it's not real.
Instant Family. You just do Instant Family and you pretend to adopt a group of young Mexican Americans and
you do Daddy's Here Too, and
Scalia, that's his next movie. His next movie, he adopts 4 Guatemalan children. Ryan Callen's doing 3 Japanese kids. It's not going to pan out for him.
Did like those guys actually ever like anything bad happen, or they just stopped doing shows?
Their careers are just done.
Oh fuck.
I was supposed to be the hosting weekend that I had at Skyline was because Brian Callen got bounced from the weekend, so he can't work a club in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Damn.
I saw Chris D'Elia once, and it was at what's the place at the Masonic Temple in Cleveland, and it was the loudest stand-up show I've ever seen. I mean, it was like he was yelling. Is JT gone? Is that just how it works, or is he?
No, I'm back. Sorry.
Is he becoming more Boston?
I told him to come on and be as Boston as possible, and you can leave whenever, JT. I just thought it would have been funny for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to call you fat fucks. I'm also a fat fuck, so I feel like
no, it's fine. I just wanted to make
you
it
look
personal.
a lot better. You look like you're in better shape than the last time I saw you. Not to like say that you were in bad shape, but last time it was what fucking March or April. Like
March was probably
tightened it up.
Are you like Joe Graham, where you're one of those people that's getting into like prison shape during COVID?
Yeah, basically. I got real into shape. Like I had like a 4-pack going. and then I just like was home for 6 months writing a movie and working on
Nice.
stuff, and just eating a bunch of cookies, and got up to like 180 pounds, and then just started working out again.
Hey, before
Yeah.
you tell everybody where they can find you, can you tell me where you got the exact same lamp that I have had every single time that I've moved?
That's Walmart
'cause
right there, baby.
everybody has that lamp.
I have that lamp in the other room.
You just get that when you move to Cleveland. It's just like
You-
Bill Squire just gives you this.
Yeah.
That lamp was like the house that I moved into in Kent had that lamp, and I think I
Yeah,
got
dude.
rid of that lamp before I moved into that house. Like it's a Northeast Ohio thing.
I have, it's like still have it in the other room, but mine's blue. Instead of yours is
I
like
have
a
a
rusted
green one
metal
right in
color.
front of
Mine's
me
blue.
right here.
They're the
Lamp
best.
Brothers.
Mine sometimes makes weird noises. Like if anything ever burns my house down, it's gonna be that lamp. Like the lights will flicker and you'll hear like a zappy noise, like a bug zapper, and I'm like, it's fine.
You know those like
All right,
little
boys.
shitty stink bugs? They would always get like caught in the up in the top because for whatever reason that like concave
Oh,
shape.
there's like 4 in there right now.
Yeah.
But all right, boys, I'm gonna sign off. It was good seeing
Thanks,
you guys.
Good seeing you.
Love you,
We'll
buddy.
see you as soon as COVID's over. Peace.
Yep.
For sure.
Nice tattoo, bro.
Thanks, bro. You too.
That was
It wasn't
nice.
that-
A nice little
That was
surprise.
that made my night.
Hey,
Seeing you made my night, but then seeing JT just doubled it. It's like, oh,
now when you were running a little late, I was gonna get. I had some time to fuck around, so I figured I would text him and see what he's up to. So I shot him the link and I said, if you get time, jump on.
was he actually in the Navy?
I fuck if I know. You know JT
don't know.
Godfrey better than I do.
Yeah, but we've never talked about our illustrious military careers. Because mine
I
didn't
know that.
exist.
I mean, I know that stealing valor is not a good thing.
It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Just because it's fun, like saying the N-word is a lot of fun, but you're not supposed to do it. Stealing valor is right up there.
When it was weird because when I got this tattoo, they were like, "What kind of look are you looking for?" And I was like, "Valor," and that's all I said. And they're like, "We've got the look for you."
Stolen valor, 100%. I want this anchor to be the anchor of what the Navy will put around me once they find out I have one. Like I want it to be that big.
I can't even. We've gone over this. I can't swim. They don't. If the Navy's pissed about it, they don't even need. They need like a puddle, and they just need to lightly place me in it, and I'll drown. They don't need to tie me to an anchor.
That would just be so. That's. I mean, not to rehash you not being able to swim, but like 2/3 of the Earth you can't go on. Like, is that intimidating?
No, because the third of the Earth that I can go on, I'm very good at it.
That's smart.
Yeah,
That's a
whatever
good way
the
of looking
opposite-
at it.
Whatever the opposite of swimming, like, yeah, 2/3 of the Earth, I'm bad at it, but the other third, I've got it down.
That's a very glass third full way to look at it.
Last third full.
So what
Dude,
was
I was gonna-
what was what did you want to talk about? You said you're going to lead off the show, which just went terribly. Two,
I would disagree. I've gotten numerous text messages already saying, I don't know what you guys are doing right now, but it sounds great. From neighbors, I sometimes put my phone on speakerphone while we're having this meeting and just let it go. So
yeah,
feel like
what did you want to
sometimes-
talk about?
my favorite thing, real quick, is that sometimes I'll just start talking, and then when I'm done, your face is just like, this podcast was a fucking mistake.
No,
It's like you'll just.
I'm just in a rotten mood. I haven't gotten to yoga tate. Like I went straight from like this was the busiest I had been at work in probably a month and a half. So like I was busy. I'm like my mind's cluttered. I hit my knee really hard on my desk drawer, and it was like it was one of those things where I hit it real hard and it didn't hurt instantly, but I like started walking and like 5 feet later, like the bottom part of my leg died, and it's just like a very pointed hurt because it like hit me right in the kneecap.
No, I was gonna say we should talk about all the I have new. This is not gonna improve your mood though, but like COVID fears.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you got, like, when you had to be sick and like isolate and quarantine, did you like develop new fears about the world?
Like, what are you afraid of?
Like, for the first time ever, like, I got COVID and there was like, I don't know if you knew that, but I had
Did you get
COVID
COVID?
and yeah, I had it. And, but I was like the first, for the, like, legitimately like the first time in my life. Like, usually there's like comedy and stuff going on, so I'm in a good mood. But for the first time ever, I was like, I could die alone. And then like you realize that everybody dies alone, even if you're married or whatever. But I was like, yeah, I could die in this shitty 1 bedroom apartment and that'd be game over, chapter closed, book closed.
Yeah, I mean, when I was like, that's like I stopped smoking cigarettes. Like it wasn't like I was like smoking a pack a day. It'd be like every once in a while, like a pack would last me like a month or like 2 weeks or something. It'd be mostly when I was at comedy, but it was like, oh shit, like I might like there might be a time where I just can't breathe. Like that was
Yeah,
like my big thing with COVID. Like I didn't lose my smell or taste or anything. Like I just couldn't breathe for like 4 days in a row, and I was like, well, this is a real hamper to like doing everything. And then like I was just tired for 2 weeks afterwards. So it was like, oh, maybe I should just not be like a fat piece of shit who can't breathe. Like maybe I should like
yeah,
make it so I can breathe again. And that was like very tough.
yeah. No, it's like just terrifying. And like that fear of like, oh my God, I could die and I haven't really, what have I accomplished? I was like, I fully own a 2016 Mazda, and that's probably the top
That's a
of what
pretty
I've done.
good that's a pretty good like that's a good way to go. When did you pay it off?
During COVID, like
Uh
during 2020.
I mean that's not a bad like you at least have like if somebody did your net worth, it would be at least like 12 grand.
I don't think it's worth that much. I put a lot of miles on it already.
How many miles are on it?
It's like over 100,000 already.
Jesus, in 5 years?
I'm a good driver, yeah. And I
Damn,
like to
son.
remind myself how good I told you, dude, one third of the earth I've got down. That includes motor vehicles.
I guess if you couldn't go on 2/3 of the earth, I would like I would try to see as much of it as I could.
Yeah. No. I mean I drove to Denver this year and that car was solid as a rock, baby.
Did you do weed while you were in Denver?
No.
Why not? It's
I
legal
don't
there.
know. Because I'm like I'm really about the burrito scene in Denver. I don't know
There's
if
a
you know
good
that.
burrito scene in Denver.
Yeah, Pete's Diner, best burrito I've ever had. Get the loaded breakfast burrito at Pete's Diner, and then you can die happy. Actually, scratch that. My greatest accomplishment in life is having that burrito.
Here's the
That's the
thing.
closest I've come to meeting Jesus.
But
And
does breakfast burritos like do they count as like a regular burrito scene?
yeah, dude, this one does.
But it's like saying country fried steak counts as like steak. Like country fried steak's
Well, it doesn't.
great because it's covered in gravy and it's fried and that's gonna be like up there with everything else. But like a breakfast burrito doesn't count as a burrito. Like, that's a
Yeah, it
different
does.
no. I'm making that's the rule of this episode is that breakfast burritos don't count as
Don't
burritos.
fuck me like that. That's not the rule. But we will disagree on this rule. I'll fight you. I'll drive to Wisconsin and just be like, it's go time. Like, in how far away is Wisconsin? Sorry.
From you like 7 hours,
So in
7, 8.
7.5 to 8 hours, you'll see me, and I'm gonna be like, it's go time, bitch.
Yo,
You're gonna
if
be
that
like, you want to meet
happened,
my
I would
dog?
take you to yeah, meet my dog. We could go to a movie theater and watch like the movie theater by my house. It's very big and they're showing The Wizard of Oz. I think that'd be a fun time.
That would actually, I would enjoy that. Okay, so we do all that stuff, and then go time. And that's
I
that's
mean,
the sound of me beating you out. That's not beating you up. You know.
not clapping
Nope.
cheeks.
Yeah. No.
What a ridiculous statement. Um, I don't know. It's Martin Luther King Day. Is that what you wanted to talk about?
No, I was just gonna talk about COVID fears, but I feel like now we
Oh
should
yeah, I
talk about
forgot.
it.
I forgot that that was even a subject that you brought up.
That
Like
was.
that's how great of an idea that was. I
I was like,
promised I would yes and it, but like that's just like the word. Like I thought, like should we talk about me hitting my knee on my desk for an hour? That's the same thing you brought up.
no. I don't know why that sounded like Christopher Walken. I'm sorry, but Did it? Or did it sound like that?
Yeah, it did. No, like it
Ow.
was.
I can't even do it on purpose now. That was just an accident.
It was brilliant. But no, like the COVID. What's your big COVID? Like, is the dying alone your big COVID fear?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like I've never had that fear, so I'm like, why now? I don't know. You know what I
I
mean?
think it's probably because this is the closest you've come to impending doom. Like even if like you like I
I
had
think it's
MRSA in high school, like that like crazy
fuck
shit
yeah.
that like takes over your body. Like I had to go to the hospital for that, but like my family was there. Like so like you're like a grown ass man in an apartment and like you could just not breathe anymore and then you're just like fucked.
That's like I think it's a vanity thing too. Like I'm pretty vain, and I do kind of want like a large group of people to be like, he was the best, and we're never gonna be the same. Years will go by, and still his memory will be with us.
Yeah, every once in a while I think about that. Like I can't even get people to come to a show, let alone
Yeah.
like like
Let alone mourn for years.
yeah, years. I think it would be one of those ones where like we've talked about it before. Like we're very like I would say in the comedy scene we're very good friends, but like outside of it, like I don't know your parents' names. Like I mean
Well,
like
you have a.
fine.
I know all the major details. I know that you have a dog. I know that you live in a different state. I can't remember which one. I know that you have a girlfriend.
Is that what friends are when you're like an adult? Like so do I have like a bunch like do I actually have a bunch of friends? Like cuz I would like I know like two or three key like if I had to sell you a car, I could figure it out based off of what I know about you. But if like somebody came up and was like you have to remind me multiple times where you went to college. Like every single time I think like if I want to be like, "Oh, you went to college?" You'd be like, "Yeah, I went to Miami." Like I wouldn't like it just if somebody came up to me and was like, "Where did Joe grow up?" I'll be like, "Ah,
Parma,
Cleveland
that's the
area."
easiest one. I feel like everybody would know that in the Cleveland comedy scene because I'm very proud.
Yeah, but what's it with the weird Parma pride? Not you specifically, but everybody in Parma needs to like calm down on Parma. Like it's the worst
So
suburb of
it is.
Cleveland.
This is the best analogy I can make because I feel like if you know what I'm talking about, you get it. But it's the same thing as like when people are like, "Why are you a Browns fan?" when they've been trash for
Okay,
20
that
years.
makes sense.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm just like that's my fucking thing, and I don't know. Like no matter how terrible and awful it is, that's my fucking thing.
Yeah,
And
it makes
I
sense.
hate when comics will like do a show, and they just do those throwaway jokes that are like, da 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 da, Parma's the worst, and the crowd goes nuts because they're like, I got that reference, I've been there once. And then like I'll be like off stage, like watching that comic, and like I fucking hate you.
Dude, I hate local hack joke. Like, oh, this is the
Yeah,
next town over. Like I did that in at this mic in Milwaukee, and it was like so funny because so there's a mic, it's called I forget what it's called, but they like it's at a place called Rounding Third, and they don't have a microphone. So it's an open mic where they don't have a microphone, and they give you 10 minutes. So you're
there's just
like
an
just
open.
yeah. So like, it's just an open.
Microphones in the fucking name.
Yeah. Yes. And I was
They
like,
don't have one.
I have microphones in my car. And they're like, we don't have a mic cord. And I was like, well, either do I. So like whatever. So what dude, and the worst part is like there's a sound system
You know
that
who
you can
else doesn't have
hear.
mic cords? Parma. Fucking joke. Count
Dude,
it.
okay. So like I go to this other mic. It's in like Milwaukee, and it was like it's a Monday mic and it's a cool spot, but like now since it's only COVID, like only like comedians go to it. So that's why I don't go to it. And so like I went up first and the microphone wasn't working and I was like, "What is this? Rounding third?" And it got like a big pop and I was like, "Oh, this is what gets you guys to laugh. Local jokes." So like I just like straight up like undermined the only laugh that I got in it. Just like I was like, "Yeah, fuck you guys." Like you're gonna laugh at my
Fuck
hack
you.
open mic like local bullshit.
I that like when you I don't know, like I've done jokes like that at shows before and it almost feels worse. Like when it gets a laugh because it's like, wow, they're going for this bullshit.
Yeah, you're gonna be headlining the funny stop in your 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, shout
Well,
out to the funny stop,
I
Northeast
think if I
Ohio's
work hard, I can
premier.
get there by the time I'm 60. But thank you. If I work
Well,
hard, keep my head down, respect my
somebody
elders.
somebody said like I forget when I was back in town when I was at the Funny Stop, somebody was like, yeah man, I'm working on my I have like a solid 12 minutes, I've got to get like 35 more and then I'm set for the next 20 years. I can work this club forever.
20 years?
Dude, the people that like headline there all the time that he's had there like a million and a half times have like a guy that I know and love and have loved for like one of my like a good buddy in comedy, and every time I see him, like when I saw him, I gave him a giant hug when we were back home. I was like, fuck COVID, it doesn't matter. He has had the same 45 minutes for the last 5 years. And that's as long as I've known him. So like it could be even longer.
That the thing I don't understand the most about that is like I hate doing the same fucking jokes I have over and over and over again. And so like if you're a comic, and I'm assuming that most of the people there are like full-time comics, right? Right?
Some of them, like the headliners, just do like regional bullshit. Like Mike Chisalko was just headlining there. He's a fucking lawyer in Cleveland now. Like he used to open
really?
for, yeah, he used to open for with the real loud guy, Sam Kinison. He used to open for
shit.
Kinison in like the early '90s and like the late '80s, and he spoke at the Cleveland Comedy Festival, and he was like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting back into comedy for the first time in fucking 30 years. And I was like,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
welcome back,
Dude.
bro. Like it's completely different. Like you can't make a career off of having 5 minutes and a friend.
Yeah, dude. Because I was just like, I would get so bored. Like if especially if you were getting paid to do comedy, so that's your job, right? You're a full-time stand-up. How do you not say to yourself, like, especially if you're touring, how do you not have new stories, new stuff? Like fuck, even if you just keep 10 minutes of old stuff, like how are you not able to turn over like a half hour of material every year? You know what I
I
mean?
mean, that's your only job is to go from place to place and write jokes and tell jokes. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you have to do. Like I felt bad because I hosted for the second time in like 3 months, and like hosting at this club is 10 minutes, and like 6 of it was the same. Like I felt bad that half of it was the same. Like I was trying
Yeah.
to like throw new jokes in it, and I was like, what if somebody had seen me a few months ago and they like saw, like I feel bad about that, and I'm not even like the one they're advertising. Like imagine if like your
Yeah.
name was on the fucking poster or whatever, and you show up and then you just do the same act they saw last time. That's insanity.
Like this is the best way I can describe it is like this would being able to do stand up full time would be my dream job. And I'm assuming it's the same for you, right?
Yeah.
And so like why would you half ass your dream job? You know what I mean?
I feel bad like
Like if
right now I feel like other than like mentally getting my shit together and like taking care of my body for the first time in like 30 years, like
feels
this
good.
is the worst I feel because like I'm doing 4 or 5 sets a month maybe, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
used to
awful.
doing 15 to 20.
The worst feeling too is you're doing 4 or 5 sets a month. So if you have one that doesn't go great, you just have to sit on that feeling
You're like
for
fuck
a
it for a
week.
whole week. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't just go do another. I mean, the best thing about Cleveland is that sometimes you could eat shit and still do another set that night and like feel better immediately.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
like they have
like it,
shows here. Like it's just like Milwaukee, there's 2
I meant
going
like
on tonight.
pre-COVID. Yeah.
I know, but like, so like, there's shows going on now, but like, you have to wear your mask on stage, and it's
Oh,
only comedians going out. So like, what are you gonna learn? Like, you're just gonna like, you're getting stage reps in. Like, you're not getting good. You're just doing it to do it at this point. Like, you're not getting anything good. Like, I'm going up and I'm doing a couple sets on Wednesday up in Appleton, where like, it's one of them is gonna be on like the club that I work. So
which by
like,
the way,
that's useful.
if somebody did ask me where you lived in Wisconsin, I would probably say Appleton because that's the city I hear you talk about the most.
It's the best. It's the most fun. It's
Yeah.
the only place that like you can go and like it's. I mean, it's a completely different spot. Like Milwaukee is a quote unquote big city, so they have like extra like precautions. So like
Yeah.
that's why I'm not like Appleton has like half as many precautions. So like I can go up there. Like you wear your mask when you're not on stage, but when you're on stage, you're like at least 6 feet away from everybody having fun. Like like you can at least see people. Like
I
people
feel
are
like
out.
if I had to wear my mask on stage, I would like overcompensate with like crazy eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Because like they can't see your expression or your smile or what you're like, you can't convey emotion with your face. So then you're just like, doing weird shit with your eyes. Like it's weird. I don't know. It's
And
like
so you're
taking away a
basically
part of the
just
medium.
doing, yeah, you're doing tweets at that point. Is like, listen,
Yeah,
like my words need to make you laugh. And it's like, well, you can only say so many things. And then like, but like you can say a lot of like really shitty things and then like wink and nod your way out of it because you're like, it's part of the whole thing is like you use like your charisma or whatever to win them over. And like you're missing half your face. Like it doesn't even,
yeah.
what are you doing? Just go home.
Because I'll like, I know for a fact I'll do that phase where it's like I kind of just pretend like I'm shocked by something I said for a story, but I'm like, how would you even do that with a fucking mask on? That's a
Yeah.
mask. That's a joke you're missing. It's not even a joke, but it's like funny emotion that you're trying to convey, and you can't do it now, so it's making your
And
shit
act
worse.
outs are fucked. Like you're just like you're
Yeah,
missing your most important tool is probably your face, and you're missing it. Like it doesn't even make sense. And I get why people want to do it. I hate that like you're backlogged and all that stuff, but like it's just right. Like maybe like make a TikTok or something. Like it's not gonna get you any. You're doing stand up in front of the same 20 people every single week, and you're just gonna end up writing jokes for those people instead of like real people.
which is I hate doing. It's weird because I love like the Cleveland comedy scene. I love like all the comics. I get along with I like everybody, but I just don't. I hate doing jokes in front of comics. I hate it so much. Like open mics that are just comics.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
kind
know.
of a bump, but like it's one of those things where you kind of get like you just get used to it and you because like we're gonna laugh at different shit. Like we're gonna laugh at like
Yeah,
the harsher like oh I can't believe he went there and like it's like or like the wittier things. Like when I would bring Ashley around like we would do at the comedy house in Kent like Memorial Day parties or Fourth of July parties or whatever, and she'd be like, "Yeah, it's fun and like it's funny, but like you guys are just like talking about shit like I've never heard about, like because we just have like dumb
yeah,
shit references because we're around the same kinds of people all the time, so like we know like these little obscure nonsense references, and like normal people don't think that those are funny. So like what we do for fun, like is that's what you end up doing on stage, and then like when you go to like a club and try to get paid to do it, people are like, this shit's whack. Like the smartest comedians or my favorite comedians fucking blow when like real people are
yeah,
around.
yeah. I do you know what's like one of the weirdest feelings is like once you start doing comedy and you hang out with comics a lot, and then you go back to hanging out with like your normal friends, how you just feel like I don't know. Like, do you know what
I
I'm
don't
talking
have
about?
normal friends. Like I just don't. Like the only people I talk to are like legit my girlfriend and like she's a champ for being it. Like it's like I don't turn it off. Like it's never off. Like I don't know how people
Yeah,
just
I
are
don't.
like I'm just like always going for some sort of joke, and at some point, like she'll just be like, "All right, that's the fucking last one," and
That's
like
what I'm. That's
there's
like
no way to
yeah.
do it.
That's like my fear with my job because I like work in business. So I'm afraid one day I'm gonna be like just talking like how I can't stop talking, and somebody's gonna be like, you know what, the fuck out of here, pack your bags, we're done. Thought we
Yeah, I
could make it
think
work.
well, that's like any like real anytime that I've tried to do like a real like adult job. Like I'm in sales. Like salespeople, you
Yeah,
can kind of just like fuck off and just be like whatever, and they'll be like, all right, as long as you hit your numbers, we don't give a shit. But when I like tried to do like real insurance jobs or like the scrap job that I worked at, where they like wanted you to be professional, but like you worked at a scrapyard, I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? Like we work at a scrapyard. We're fucking dirtbags. Let's go. And it's just
that
it
was
doesn't make
yeah.
like I can't do it.
That was my like favorite thing is I used to work at a plumbing company. I drove like a delivery truck, and you could just like as long as you get the deliveries to where they need to go and don't crash the truck, like we don't give a shit what you do. And it was the most fun job that I think I ever had because I could just do and say whatever I wanted, and everyone else was just as cool.
Yeah,
Like we
like
get it.
when I was like 16 to 19, I worked a summer job for like the city. Like they would have like a summer help
Yeah,
program, and like it was like you just pass your and I mean I didn't like do any drugs or anything like that when I was younger. So like all you had to do is pass your drug test. Like you could show up like hungover as all hell, take a nap in the truck. Like it was just like a giant like as long as like they gave you like 5 things to do that day. If you got it done in 2 hours, they didn't give a shit what you did the rest of the 6 hours. Like those are like the best jobs where they're like, we know you're gonna fuck off most of the day. Just do these things and we don't give a shit and don't get caught fucking off because like people will get mad. Like that's all you have to do is do these and not get caught fucking off.
So like when I was in high school to help pay for high school, I was like a summer janitor with a bunch of other high school kids. And they basically had like
you went to a private school?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what do you mean pay for high school?
Yeah, the public schools in Parma are pretty bad. Like there was like a levy that didn't pass right when I was going into high school. My parents were like, "You're going to private school."
Oh, so you are like you are a secret millionaire, like JT said. There's been a lot that's happened during this episode that I think we just kind of like.
I am Iron Man.
I'm actually in a cave right now.
I wish I had a Whopper right now just to be like, I am Iron Man, and then just.
Yo, how good does a Whopper sound though? Burger King has the best burgers with like that mustard, like their mustard to ketchup ratio is the best.
Burger King is, I like Burger King. Like if I had to get like a burger, something about a Whopper is just.
Wendy's has the best burger by itself though.
Yeah.
Like a Baconator.
The Whopper put together, very wholesome.
The stacker with the stacker sauce, the BK stacker, that shit ruled.
Never had it. Do you remember when KFC was just like, we don't give a shit, and they did the double down?
Yo, that was the worst stomachache I've ever had in my life.
It was so good, but I just love how someone in corporate was like, they're like, we need something new, and it's got to be chicken. And somebody was like, I have an idea.
Give them what they want. Like this. They're like, some asshole has been, there had to have been like a crazy homeless person outside of corporate that was like, what you just need to do, get rid of all the bread and all the other bullshit. Just make it chicken on chicken with cheese in between and go. And like just every day they had to hear this guy. And he's like, fuck it, give him what he wants. And then the guy died after having 7 of them in one day.
That's like something, that's a topic I want like a mockumentary made about, is just like the invention of the KFC double down. Like if you can, yeah. Because did you see on Hulu there was one? It was like it was like the John Bronco documentary, and it was a mockumentary. I think Ford like helped him do it, but it was like there was a fictional guy named John Bronco, and that's what the Ford Bronco was based on.
See, like that's a good idea, but as soon as like that's something that I don't like.
As soon as
right
Ford
now,
is involved, it sucks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's when it just like takes it from like being cheap. Like then you have to like run it by Ford when you want to make a shitty joke about Ford.
Because you're like, is this fun or is this marketing? And that ruins it, just having to ask that
100%. Like the same people who are like super like, not to like make this political or whatever because it's Martin Luther King Day, but like the same people who are like all behind the government now and trying to get the like protesters or rioters or whatever, like they're trying to like give their information to the government right now. That same government killed Martin Luther King. Like you can't just like play both. Like you can't be like, this mockumentary is great, but it's like made by Ford. You're like, you can't be like Ford sucks and then be like, thanks Ford for saying that you suck. Like it just doesn't make sense.
But even for that, it's like even Ford, it's like, hey man, look at Ford's cool. They're edgy. They know how to have fun. But you remember when like the Pintos or whatever would explode if you rear-ended them right?
Yeah. Or like Ford when Wendy's has like a really fun Twitter. Yeah, like Wendy's Twitter was like is super fun, but like they're at least on brand with like Wendy's is the shit, and we're gonna say Wendy's is the shit. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, Wendy's is real wacky. Like they're not gonna play into that.
But even like there was like a news article I read because I thought this was like a real funny backstory, and the girl that like ran that Twitter asked for more money because obviously she was crushing it and making them like, I would say, millions in marketing. She was probably saving just by being good at Twitter. And they were like, no, and they just let her walk and like hired somebody else. I was just like, what?
I mean, but I wouldn't have known that there was a different person, honestly.
But it's just crazy that like she established like that whole Wendy's persona, and they just get to keep that, and she gets like probably like what, like 40 grand a year or something.
That's
50
my
grand?
big theory is that like literally if I went on anybody's Twitter who was like certified, who had like their blue check mark, like that shit would be fire. Like just my nonsense shit gets like buried because it's just
Your
insane.
nonsense on Ariana Grande's Twitter account.
Yeah. Could you imagine if just like I came out just like guns ablazing on Ariana Grande, or like if Chrissy Teigen just like gave me her Twitter for an hour and I just went
For an
out and I was just
hour?
like
You're like,
just for an
that's
hour.
all I need.
Be like, yeah, that's all I need. Joe Biden is a lizard person from Chrissy Teigen's Twitter. Like I made like I just like I
Can I ask
would
you a question?
like it would be so great. Yeah, go
Do you just said, are you already running Kanye West's Twitter?
ahead. I don't think he said that Joe Biden like his is like I think his Twitter and like Donald Trump's Twitter are like the most fun Twitter, except for when
Well,
they
not
tell
anymore.
people to like take over the country. Like that's not cool. But like being like I'm the shit for 19 hours straight, I think that's hilarious.
I'm still waiting for, that's like the collab I want in 2021 is like Kanye X Donald J. Trump for either a
People
single or a
forget that
product.
Donald Trump is like the best. Like he is so great at marketing. Like he's the one who got us sold on the stuffed crust pizza.
I think he's not. I think he's just so dumb and blunt that like people enjoy it. Like he's like an accidental genius at marketing. He's not actually good. I don't think he actually knows what he's doing. He's got bad business sense.
He was just the first one to like you know how like the first one to do something stupid, people just run with it. Like you think he was just like the first, like the you're
Yeah,
fired. Like somebody saw them, they're like, we can make an entire TV show about this retarded person saying you're fired, and then he's the president.
like he did that show because he was bankrupt. Like the reason he did The Apprentice, he didn't want to do reality TV. The reason he did it is because his companies were going bankrupt and he needed the money.
And he was in
Like,
the episode for 7 minutes a week. Like he wasn't even
yeah,
there for most of it.
yeah, because he didn't want to be attached to it. He
That's
was just coming and
genius. And
going,
then you
just
just throw
saying,
your name on like shitty buildings. That's a
like
brilliant
shitty
business plan.
buildings, stakes, universities, you name it, he's got it, baby. There's definitely Trump socks. There's got to be.
But if you were like super deep in conspiracies, like what is like so you've read 1984, correct?
Yeah, and don't even. I'm just
Oh, good.
as,
Joe
as an
froze.
aside that people keep making like 1984. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, I fucking hate when people make 1984. They're like, we're living in 1984. No, we're fucking not. You fucking idiots.
Well, but
It's like
here's the thing. So as somebody who reads 1984 like at least once every other year, I've read it like a dozen times.
It's my
So I
favorite
love
book.
that book.
I'm not joking. Yeah.
It's up there. It's up there on
Yeah.
my like so like one. But if you were to like want to get rid of like a capitalist kind of like society and move an entire country to like communism in some sort of way, like you take the guy whose like shiny gold name has been synonymous with capitalism for the last 50 years, and then you make him be like the opposition. Like it's like making him into Goldstein. Like you will like in 6 months we'll have the 2 minutes hate about Donald Trump and we'll all yell at the TV all the time. And like you're just
Okay.
like so like the
But
people saying 1984, they're nonsense. But like that little slice of it, you're like, oh, this like could make complete sense on like they're using that to undermine everything.
so have you read A Brave New World?
Yes. It's been a while for that one.
That's where we're at. That one, like the whole point of that book is like, oh, we're gonna give people everything they want. We're gonna overstimulate them. We're gonna like fry their brains by letting them like kill their attention span so they can do everything they want to do, and then they don't notice the bad things going on. That's what's happening.
Well, it's
So,
a
like,
very Fahrenheit 451 kind of deal. It's like the same idea. You give like people aren't. It's not by taking away things from them. It's by giving them everything that placates them, and then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And so people that are like, it's 1984, I'm like, you're read a different fucking book or stop copy and pasting your uncle's Facebook opinions
You
from
should also
Fox News.
read it's called
Like fucking
We. Have you heard of that book?
like the Nintendo one
No,
or the French
WE,
one.
like we.
Oh,
It's Russian originally. It's like the OG like dystopian novel. Like when you read it, you're like, oh, this is exactly where Orwell got this idea from. Like it's like the first one, and it's some Russian guy, and it's great. Like you're like, oh, this is it's a brilliant book.
so this is yeah, that's 1920, 1921. I think Brave New World was like 23.
It was like 28 or 29 or something like that. Um, but like that was like the original one.
Damn, I might have to check that out. I love a good sad book.
It's not even that sad. It's just like it's like all the same, like the room where like fucking what's it in 1984 where like he meets up with the chick, like that's basically stolen from this book. The idea that like the government is like behind everything, like it's just like the government's secretly behind and it's like a giant test. Like it's a
Yeah,
the whole trope is like basically, I don't want to say stolen because Orwell makes it better, and like obviously Animal Farm is like up there as one of the best books as well. Like he was like, oh, this is what it's gonna be, and then we're gonna make it better.
that I was like, oh fuck. Oh man, I had something to add to this and I've forgotten it. This is weird. Oh, I was gonna say, you know what I like started reading during COVID that I've never read because, like, I don't know if you've ever not done something because you're like, I don't want the time commitment in case I like it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll do that with TV shows, but I like started reading like Ernest Hemingway books for the first time and really, really good shit.
Is he one of the out, like what is it, the outdoor guys, like the guys who like went
Yeah,
into like the woods?
he's like the outdoor guy.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think we had to read that in like high school. We had to read some like Hemingway shit. That's not like my favorite stuff. Like I
it's
get it. I get the point of it, but it's
yeah,
not like my favorite.
and it's like surprisingly not manly. It's like it's like a romantic comedy without the comedy.
Yeah,
It's like
like
a sad
they
romance
did
novel.
romanticize like the woods a lot. Like it was
Yeah,
like this is where you go, like this is where you get closer to nature and actually be get to become a man, but like you're also like out there writing sonnets, not like cutting down trees.
yeah. I mean, a lot of his books were like the two that I've read like one and a half, and it's been like basically about war. Like I think he was in World War I, so he had a lot of like war based. Like one of them is a guy goes and his leg gets blown up and he's in love and all this shit. But
That seems complicated.
yeah, I mean bombs, they'll do that.
I've been reading a lot lately. Like it's not like I've been like people are always like I
Are we
read
gonna fucking have a?
77.
Are we gonna have a read off?
No, I mean I don't read like I've read two books in the like the last 3 months, which is like a lot for me. Like, but like I'll read at lunch for like a half hour, 45 minutes, and if I'm like super into it, I'll read it at home. But like I just read it's called The Glass Hotel. It's by Emily St. John Mandel or something like that. She's brilliant. Her books are so good.
Glass Hotel.
Yeah, but if
Is
you're
is
gonna
that the only? Is that the only book you've read by her? Because it's so much funnier to me when people have read like one book by someone and they're like, she's brilliant. All of her books.
No, I read the first one was Station 11, which was like way better, but
Oh,
Glass
I've heard of
Hotel was
that.
still good.
Yeah.
Station 11 fucking rules. It's such a good book.
Is it like relatively modern or is it?
Yeah, I think she wrote it in like
Oh
2016.
yeah, Glass Hotel was 2020. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was I and like Anthony Jeselnik on his podcast, they do like weekly recommendations, and like that was like one of his top 5 for the year, and it was a good book. Like it was a great book. The way that she does like characters, like it's you know each character by the end, like specific stupid details that like make a person is what she's so good at.
Did you ever read like Kurt Vonnegut?
I have.
Because like I like
What's the
Slaughterhouse-Five is like the big
that
book.
one? I
Yeah,
read
I
that
like
one. I tried to read another one and I was like, all right, I get it. Like whatever.
he had one of it was like the post office or something? It was something with like the mail. I can't think of it.
The post office was
Or is that?
post off that was fucking Bukowski.
Oh fuck! I just mixed those guys up. That's embarrassing. Okay, because I've read that and Vonnegut, but Slaughterhouse-Five or whatever was really good. That was like the other book I've read in 2020 that I'd never.
I mean, I think post office. I mean, Bukowski. Yeah, it is Bukowski.
It
I
is,
like Bukowski.
Then this is now that all the podcasts is just a fucking book club now.
That's fine. We could. Ashley's doing a book club.
Are you in it?
No, they're gonna read like Women Are Equal books and shit like that.
Just how like you made that a passing comment and you were just like shit like that, just fucking no.
Like I mean, it is what it is. Like I just have an issue with like people who live in like the most modern, best times. Like other than like the air trying to kill everybody, like other than
Yeah.
that obvious statement, like this is like the best that things have ever been, and people are just like, yeah, but I also don't like it when people hold the door open for me. It's like, well, what happened? Like, it's not even like a feminine. Like, I just want to be polite. Like, if somebody holds
Yeah.
the door open for me, like, I just want to move on with my day. And then, like, they'll like, I don't know.
That's always like weird to me too, because like when somebody holds the door open for me, I'm like, thank you, and I get like
Yes,
overly. I'm just like, oh my god, thank you so much for your kindness.
you say thank you. It gives you a little boost, and then you move on
Yeah.
with your day. You're like, kindness is
Yeah.
around. But then, like somebody, like you just go online and it's like I've seen somebody like I can open a door myself. It's like fine, bitch, like open the door. Like it, like sorry, like I saw somebody. It was like a decision tree of like, should I hold the door open? Like, am I pregnant or like have a walker? It's like, how do I know if you're pregnant? And like maybe you're just like having a like what? Why can't I just hold the goddamn door open? Like it's just nice.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. It's like I
Yeah.
help somebody.
It's
Yeah.
my good deed for the day. Like you drop, oh, I dropped my purse. Can I not pick it up myself? Like maybe just somebody saw you drop something and they're trying to be helpful.
Yeah, like I don't like, it's just weird to me. Like if I like drop, like if I'm carrying my groceries in and I drop my bag or whatever and my shit goes everywhere, like I hope that somebody doesn't look at me and be like, he's a strong, independent man, he'll figure it out. Like I would just like help, just do the right thing. It's not bad, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like just like it's honestly like a toxic individualism that like these people have. Like I know like toxic masculinity is like a bad thing, but like to just be like I can open the door myself,
Well,
thank you. You're like, well, what am I supposed to do, let the door close? And then you'd be like, well, he saw that I have short hair, so apparently I'm not woman enough for him to hold the door. Like you're just looking for something to be mad at. Like let me
if your
open the
biggest
fucking door.
if your biggest problem in life is that somebody's holding a fucking door open for you, then I think you've got more problems.
I think that's the problem. Too many
Yeah,
people have had like too good of a life
too good. That they
until
just
they
want something
become
to complain
adults.
about.
Yeah. I think that like they see and it's like a weird like like how Munchausen's like where you like make somebody else sick so like you can keep taking care of them. Like I feel like it's like the same thing as like you see like there are so many good valid like movements going on right now in history where you're like, well, I've got it pretty well. Like I need to make my own movement. Like don't like Black Lives Matter and I can open up my own door. Can you either get in or get out? And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I disagree with half of that.
Like, hey,
I
let's
just
figure out this. I guess we have to figure out this whole Nazi situation again, and then we'll worry about the doors. You know what I mean?
yeah, like let's make sure that everybody's like allowed to vote in a reasonable amount of time, and then we can worry about like I don't know how quickly you can kill a child. Like then we'll figure it out. Like there are things that like and that's one of the jokes that I've been trying to make. There's like billboards here that like every other billboard is like a pro-life billboard, and you're like, of all the fucking shit to worry about, you're worried about like, and it's a picture of like what is not quite a baby. Like it's like I know what they're going for. Like it's like a fetus, and it's like I'm a person too, and that's the only thing on the billboard. And you just look at it and you're like,
That's
that is not quite a like I know what you're going for, but that picture isn't a person yet. Like maybe next week, but that's not a person. Like if you were trying to let me know where my line is, I'm fine with killing that. Like that's what it is. And like people are like, this is where the line. It's like, no, guys, like the air's killing people. Let's worry about that before you have billboard money for like your don't kill anything ever.
I think it's pretty great advertising too. If you like, this is all supposition, so it won't hold up in a court of law per se. But if you can hire maybe a local up and coming graffiti artist to change the word bubble to like, check out who is RayRoberts.com, it's way funnier to me. You look at it and you're like, oh, it's an abortion. Wait a minute.
Just yeah, that's a great advertise. Like that's instead of like making a logo, I'm just gonna put like half-formed fetuses next to my show dates.
Yeah, just you add a little bit to a billboard that's already there that nobody cares about, and then boom, that's marketing, baby. That's guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, not like the monkey, like you know, like the people that are like
like the gorillas. I got sunshine.
Yeah, I should really be able to use more words than
bag. This. And I'm useless, but not for long. Like that, like the background at that show you'll never, or at that place you'll never be able to host because you'll probably have COVID at what is that, B spot, where like behind you it's like the people from the Gorillas.
B-side. B-spot's a verb, yeah. B-spot like closed because of COVID.
B-spot did?
Yeah, they're like, I think there's maybe one location left, but everything else is Michael Simon's like, oh, we can't get the restaurants open. I don't know if he has.
Well, there were only 2 locations of B Spot anyways, weren't there?
No, there was like 3 or 4.
Oh God, that place was so good.
Yeah, it was there was the building I work in has a B Spot and they're like shutting down at like before summer.
What building do you work in?
It's called like the Eaton Place. It's like a shopping mall on the east side.
Oh, I think I know where that building is.
Yeah, it's like EATON, I think.
Yeah.
Because then there's the Eaton Corporation. No, it's ETON. Yeah, it's ETON, sorry.
Cleveland.
I need to go in this week.
Chagrin Boulevard. Oh, you actually have to go into the office?
No, I just left like 2 cardigans at my desk and I want them back. They're like the comfy ones because I was wearing them at work when I would get chilly.
Hey, do you know what that big, like, that brass window colored building, like when you're driving into Cleveland, that's like on the left side of 77? What is that?
It's just like office buildings. That's Independence and like Independence. My brother used to work in one of those, I think.
I hate that building. Like that's
they're
like,
very ugly.
Especially in the morning when like the sun's shining on it and like you're like about to die because traffic's terrible and the fucking sun's directly in your corneas. Like whoever made that building deserves to be shot.
They like tried to build that kind of stuff in Parma.
Did they?
And Parma was like, we've got the mall, we're gonna be fine. And then they built it in Independence instead. And the mall died. Is that the girlfriend or is that
I was trying to get the dog in here. He's just sitting and staring at me being sad. He's the biggest baby. Come here.
I feel that dog.
Okay, I guess not. Well, I'll leave it open and I'll just close a little bit. All right. I just opened the door and I smelled dinner and I'm very, very hungry. So I think we did a good job of not getting anything done today. But
we talked about I was like, I got a ripping hot topic and then it wasn't.
It happens to me all the time. Like it wasn't a bad topic. It just wasn't an hour worth. Like there was a lot that happened. We need a rule. That's what we need because the breakfast burritos aren't burritos rule. You said it wasn't.
I veto that. That's my veto for the year.
You get 1 veto?
I think. Well, starting now.
Oh, okay. Oh, so after you already vetoed it, we get 1 veto?
And then we each get 1 because it's fair.
I think we agree on 99% of everything except for like breakfast burritos being burritos. I think in name only they're burritos. Like they're
I
not.
think if you had this burrito, you'd agree with me, though.
But if it was like a breakfast-based burrito, like breakfast burritos are just breakfast food in a tortilla. If it was like an actual burrito with like meat and cheese, but like there was also like maybe sausage and like on top of it, like it, or like a sunny side up egg instead of like the base being scrambled eggs. Like if there was like a breakfast component added to a burrito, I would agree with you. But a complete breakfast burrito that is just a breakfast in a tortilla, it doesn't count.
I feel like this is a burrito that has breakfast components added, but
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
different. But you know, like a breakfast, whatever. I mean, I don't know,
I think
man.
the rule is just build your own burrito.
Oh, ooh, it's almost like make your own rule, but build your own
Yeah.
burrito. It's
Okay, a couple things you need to know to get started in our cult. 1, make your own rule. 2, build your own burrito. We're starting you off strong.
That's a good build your own burrito. That's a good rule. That's a great rule. It is now set in
Like-
stone.
Like, what do you have for dinner?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't know. It smells like there might be bacon involved. I'm not 100% sure.
If
It
you
smells
whatever
really
that
good.
whatever that was, if you mashed it up and put it in a warm tortilla, that's a burrito to me. Anything mashed up in a tortilla, it's a burrito, and you roll it up, it's a burrito.
Well, that's cultural appropriation, and we're not okay with that here.
We just made the rule. Build your own burrito.
Oh, I guess we are okay with cultural appropriation.
But just this one time.
Yeah, just this once. So fuck cultural appropriation, except for when it
Except
fits
for just today.
our whole model thing. Yeah, that's a good way to end the episode.